Right, well, back to Fog Wrestling. We're here to rank every match from Vengeance 2001. Last pay-per-view 2001, which means there'll be a wee ranking coming out of every pay-per-view. Will we be including the UK pay-per-views, though? That's your decision.
Probably not.
Yeah,
Hopefully not.
They're not really canon, guys.
This was the last pay-per-view, but it wasn't necessarily the best.
I'll state that for the record, brother.
Put that out there. So,
yeah, we had 9 matches, and we are kicking off with the worst one.
In my opinion, 9 was too many for this pay-per-view.
Yep, and 9 kicks off with number 1 on the actual card itself, which was Albert and Scotty Too Hotty taking on Christian and Test, and these two jobbing it.
I like Christian and Test. I just don't see how a match with fucking Albert and Scotty Too Hotty can be good.
Like, you kick off the show with McMahon and Flair, and Albert and Scotty Too Hotty interrupt.
The hip hop people comes out and he's fucking dancing to McMahon, and like, what the fuck? Very out of place on a pay-per-view. McMahon shouldn't be sharing the same ring with the hip hop people, but for some reason, I don't know.
Absolute pish. I mean,
Steve McMahon's in the ring, he's going to get interrupted. You expect Austin's music to go or The Rock's music to go? You don't.
Like, would this not have been a perfect opportunity for them to start the first match of the semis?
I'd say so. Like,
space them out, but yeah, we'll get to that later on. But yeah, I mean, even the wrong team won here.
Yeah, everything. But I mean, it is what it is. You know, jobber tag team match.
A couple of weeks ago,
repeat match from fucking.
I know, but
Raw?
a couple of weeks ago, Test and Christian were like in McMahon's little posse.
Yeah. And now,
I mean, it just feels like
it seemed like you were getting something good. It seemed like McMahon with his alliance guys that he's kept or
heels essentially.
Do you know what I mean? But
and then we got a really funny segment with Regal. But yeah, pretty.
Now
pish.
it's like the Dudleys are away from that, and Christian and Test have just fucking become jobbers. Well, I mean, Test seems just this wee thing going where
they've got rid of them and added Taker. But
yeah.
heel Taker's pretty great, so maybe I'm alright with that. Anyway, though, yeah, this match was pretty pish.
Anyway, Test can lose any match. You can't fire him. He's got immunity.
Yeah. And next up, the women's match between Trish and Jacqueline. Where was the build in this?
No build. We kind of just said. The first we knew about it was they said on SmackDown, "Oh, Jacqueline's going to challenge for the belt," and then they gave her a match against Crash Holly.
That's probably as good as the women's build got at this stage.
See, at this stage, the women's wrestling was it does get better. I mean, people are going to say, "Oh, it's better, it's best now." Nah, the best period was probably. I wouldn't say the best period is probably not that far away from now. Like, it's probably getting close to it. Like, but I'd say around. I'd say about 2003 to about 2007. 2006. I'd say that's when it's its prime. I mean, you'd lead on Trish main event and Raw. You'd that battle of the sexes match against Jericho and Christian. You'd Trish and Fall. Trish when she was heel with Christian was good. You'd Edge with Lita. I mean, that's when it's at its best.
But I'll let you in this. I think you can tell that's why the product was definitely heading in a bad direction, because there was no way at this stage would Lita and Trish have main event. I know you could say, well, they built their character up, but even if they were at their peak at this, how would they main event?
No, I'm not saying that. Well, Trish main evented with The Rock.
That's different.
But when she's in the main event with The Rock, she seems big. But when she's defending her belt and at Vengeance against Jacqueline, she seems like a jobber. So it's all about elevation and who you share the ring with. It's as simple as that.
Yep, and this match, Trish retains, nothing spectacular. Jacqueline pish.
And that's why women today are pissed, because they're just involved with each other. There's, what I mean, like, it fucking is what it is.
It is what it is. Right, that was the second worst match. Coming in at the third worst match.
Wait, hold on. Did Stephanie McMahon go over because she was managing Triple H and she was like in segments with her fucking Finn? So I mean, she didn't go over. See, if Stephanie McMahon just appeared and all she was doing was wrestling Lita for the belt. She wouldn't have got fucking over.
Damn right.
That's what people on about China. That's how China go over.
DX.
See, when China was facing Ivy, it was like fucking afterthought.
I know, who gives a shit?
It was when she was competing in the Rumble with DX. So anyway, point is, like, women are
need men.
Aye, although they don't want to admit it, like, but I mean, it's true.
It's like when Ronda Rousey's debut match was with Triple H and Kurt Angle.
Yep.
What was better, that match, the triple threat, the main event, the next one? But anyway, your laptop just went off. But next up, we have got Matt and Jeff Hardy taking on each other here with Lita as the special guest referee. And I don't know, this match felt awful.
Yeah,
clunky.
I mean, just nothing kind of. You'd think for two bras, like they'd fucking have a bit more chemistry. It wasn't good.
Like, see if they portrayed it in like a fashion of where.
No, but it's the hard. They went for a style of match these guys are not good with. I think they went for like we're actually going to have like a wrestling match so Matt could try and make himself look like the better wrestler. but he's not a
No,
great
but see, in
wrestler
a way,
himself.
see, because they actually haven't had chemistry in recent weeks, it kind of makes sense for them to have a clunky match if wrestling was actually real.
Aye.
But it's not, so it didn't work. And then Lita didn't see Matt got his leg on the rope or something. Oh no!
But this would be like Big Show and Khali being a team, then they lose a few matches, and Big Show's like to Khali, "Oh, I'm the better wrestler" or something like this, and then they have a match at the pay-per-view, and they work like a fucking Chris Benoit Kurt Angle style match, or try to. It just wouldn't work.
It wouldn't work,
Do you know what I mean?
guys. Damn right. Next up, we have Regal taking on Edge for the Intercontinental
Well,
Championship.
all I'm going to say is compare that match to the WrestleMania match, and I know people will say, well, that match was at WrestleMania and it had weapons and shit, but my point stands, you know what I mean?
And
The
they were
WrestleMania
over-
match
they
was
were
more
main
suited to
event.
the Hardys, and that match was kind of suited to...
Pish.
Aye.
Next up, though, Edge taking on William Regal at Intercontinental Championship match. Decent feud, this.
The feud's been alright. The match was kind of...
What I
It
expected.
was alright, you know, but... God, it was a decent match, but Edge goes over.
It's the reason why it comes in at number 6 here.
Yeah, that's what it is, you know. Nowhere near their best
I,
match.
I like Regal, but to me, he's never. I'm not saying he's never had a great match, but he's not that type of wrestler. He's not. You're not going to get a. Is he? Think of what's the best Regal match? And there you go. Exactly.
I'd say his match with Austin probably was the best one he's had.
Yeah. But that's his style. It was like a brawl.
Yeah.
He's a brawler. The bill of it. Like his match against Finlay in WCW was good, but that's because they were just taking lumps at each other. But yeah, comes
Well,
in.
maybe he'll have a good one against Yossi Tatsu tonight. Who knows?
I might. Comes in at number 6. Then number 5 here, halfway. We're halfway there. We have the Dudleys taking on Kane and Big Show, and thank God Kane and Big Show didn't win here. I'm all about the Dudleys.
It pisses every time Kane has a match in this era. His boot kind of half his boot flies off, and it just pisses me off, like, because it just looks retarded. And it literally happened within the first 10 seconds of this match.
Was it in this match where they did the 3D to the Big Show?
Aye, to the turnbuckle.
He took off. No, or was that on SmackDown?
This was a good match. No, it was here. This was a good match.
No, there was
No,
one
they did a 3D like a flapjack on
Aye,
SmackDown,
aye,
and
and he
here
took
they did it into the turnbuckle. I thought this was a good match. See if they did the 3D, but instead of turnbuckle, they did it onto the top rope. Do you think the rope would withstand, or do you think like Big Show would like get fucking springboard to the side? Or
They'd probably do it in a way where all his weight wouldn't hit it.
pretty cool. Anyway, I think it's a pretty good match. The Dudleys just don't have bad matches. I think you could put the Dudleys against anyone. I think you could have two great Khali's, and the Dudleys would get a good match out of them.
I
Like
know.
the fucking tag team of I'm gonna say Shawn Michaels, like that'd be big fucking be a big diss on Shawn Michaels.
I can't think of a bad Dudley match.
No, me neither. They always have good, even when they're
People
against,
associate them with tables, but they still
even
they don't
when
need
they're against
tables.
like old man fucking Ric Flair and I Can't Work Batista. You know what I mean? They're like still having good tag team matches. So
That says bad. I remember watching that pay-per-view, the Rumble 2004. Why the Dudleys jobbing it to those two, like, in a tables match? That was a pish match. That's a pish match, and mainly just because the Dudleys aren't winning it.
well, I mean, the Dudleys everywhere they fucking go. You know, I mean, ECW them good matches. The main event ECW One Night Stand was great. Went to TNA, had great match. The only thing that wasn't great was when Chris Sabin kicked out of the but I don't mind, right? I wouldn't. But what bothers me is no one fucking kicked out of it, and they've nailed it on pretty much anyone that's relevant in wrestling.
They beat the Rock with it.
I'm pretty sure. Well, I don't know if they beat Austin with it, but he's not kicked out yet.
They've beat
I think
everyone.
they beat Taker and Kane with it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's good enough to put like the Big Show away. Although fucking anything.
I don't think there's a
Big
person
Show
in
puts me away,
an
so-
era. They've probably did. I mean, I'm thinking like Brock and Goldberg, but they never really wrestled them, you know.
Yeah.
But good match here, and now we kick off with the first match of the semi-finals. Angle against Austin.
Who was first man to kick out the tombstone?
Kane.
Was he?
Wait, oh.
I know he kicked out of it twice at Mania, but would he be the first man? I wonder if he was.
He might have been because they were hyping up.
Wait, was it not Hogan? Did Hogan not kick out of it when Taker first won the belt, and then he had to do it on the chair, or? No. My point is, right? Fucking barely. Now they have
Hogan might have kicked it.
now when they have the WrestleMania matches, like they need to do a cut, so you know the first tomb. But remember when Taker first, like, remember when he hit the tombstone on Shawn Michaels and he kicked, and you were like, "What the fuck?" You didn't think it was going to happen.
No, you just expect.
Finisher move should be finisher. See at Mania now. See when they hit their first finisher, like, he's no kicking it. Especially Brock Lesnar matches are beginning to get terrible. It's like, oh, we're not going to work a match here. We're just gonna hit fucking a bunch of. It's like basically they're playing a game. And they're like, you start with infinity finishers, and they're just seeing who can hit triangle first or Y first. Pish. Anyway, the first match, Rock versus Jericho.
No, it was Austin Angle.
Austin Angle. What's it? Well, Austin Angle.
I think the Jericho Rock was better.
I mean, Austin Angle at the 3 was probably the better match. But it had no interference. I don't care. Interference makes things interesting.
That's why the main one was the best.
It's like Booker T and Taker's match on the pay-per-view. I thought that time we watched it. I can't remember what pay-per-view was.
It wasn't that good. But the match on
SmackDown or Raw, whatever, man, it fucking, it was you had about 100 people running it, and you didn't know what was going to happen. It was great, but yeah, so there you go. I mean, without the interference, this match is probably the match of the night.
Yeah.
Because the matches in recent pay-per-views were, but thinking maybe that's another. See, that's the thing. You've seen Rock and Jericho, and you've seen Angle Austin a lot recently. Should they not have made? I would have switched that a bit.
But that's what they're going
maybe
for.
That's
But
the
then
reason
the
because
final
they've been in
could have
feuds. That's probably what they are going for. Like, we're going to finish your feud and finish your feud, and then.
And also, when they showed the promo package for us, I don't think it would have worked if one of the matches kicked off the show, and you're seeing 2 of them in it that aren't going to be seen to halfway through the show.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, that was the next match. Good match, but it was all right, But I mean, that's what it is.
So yep, now we have Jericho and Rock coming out.
I mean, I love Austin, but to see the German suplexes he did an Angle, fucking shocking. He did like 5 consecutive ones, but every time he was getting up, he let go. And it's not like he was letting go, so you couldn't see him let go. He was letting go, just to grab on again. You're like, well, what's the kind of point?
What are you doing, Austin, man? But yeah, hits him with a stunner. 1.
But the whole point is like you're not releasing. It's like you wouldn't have seen Guerrero go for the 3 amigos, but do 3 separate individual suplexes.
I know.
Or Angle or Benoit going for the the 3 Germans. The whole point is they're not releasing. They're, you know what I mean? Austin, I don't know.
Next up though, Jericho, Rock.
Probably out of the 3 matches, was this the worst one or? Well, no, this was probably.
Well, so you're confusing the viewers. If you're saying this is the worst one, how the fuck's it third best?
No, not in terms of that. This one was weird. It was alright. Like McMahon comes out, costs the Rock. Jericho wins again.
I was expecting Test to come out due to that fucking segment with Trish just before the match. It felt really off considering nothing happened with it.
But I think it would have made more sense if the Rock walked in, or the Rock like.
But they didn't do anything.
I know, but to me. It's a bit of a jump from Test, like, having that segment with Trish, and then, like, what, I'm just going to take out in the Rock because he tagged him to him. Like, I don't know.
Well, maybe, but yeah, there was a rock bottom for the announce table, all the best idea.
I mean, the Rock could have elevated Test, but I mean, I guess all you had to do is go, my name's Test, and then would have buried him, like, and it would have been good night, so. I don't know. Decent match. Next match is
Jericho Austin. So obviously Jericho beats The Rock due to fence, and then Austin's music hit, and he's limping. He's selling the moves.
And it comes out, Angle attacks him from behind, Angle slams, so you think there's Jericho getting his advantage, but then The Rock comes in, Rock bottoms Jericho, and still Jericho gets the cover on The Rock. So I mean, it's strange. Even though Jericho got...
Aye, on Austin.
Yeah, Jericho got hit with the rock bottom later than
Aye, but
Austin,
I guess you could argue.
And Jericho just being in a match, so.
I guess you could argue getting hit by a weapon's worse than a finishing move.
Oh, I guess that's true.
That's what they're going with, but yeah.
Well, it's fucking. Play Here Comes the Pain. That you'll find out that's true. One weapon shot, man. Your guy's dead. Yeah, so there you go. Jericho because the ending was a bit lackluster. I thought. Yeah, I was half expecting Austin to kick out.
Yeah, it was good with all the interference, like with Booker T, Vince and Flair. And then you just expected something. You expected another twist.
Yeah.
You never got it. But then, I'm all for that. Like, I don't want to see it overdone. Like, I didn't want to see him kick out of that and then just do a rehash of those 3 getting involved again.
Yeah.
But I expected Flair to be bleeding after the ring post job, but he didn't. Jericho's your undisputed champion.
I would say that's what's good about this era. Sometimes, like, when they do a long count, you actually don't know if they're going to kick out at 2.5 or whether that's the match over. Whereas now I think it's more predictable. Someone's kicking it.
Yeah. And see now, you don't care. Like, see here's drama involved in the long count. See now.
I don't
even watch the show.
I fell asleep by the time they got to this.
But anyway, talk about the main event, the best match on this card. Dead Man Walking, taking on Rob Van Dam, Undertaker Van Dam.
Hardcore Championship.
Great.
I thought it was the best match tonight because I believe it's the first time we've seen Taker versus RVD.
Yep.
Well, it might be the second time actually. But anyway, it was good, hardcore match, and it suited Taker's new gimmick. I think Taker being hardcore, so it's good. Battled throughout the crowd, and I didn't feel like, to me, it felt like a match where RVD could win.
I know.
You know what I mean? So it felt like 50-50. I know in the end he didn't. Taker the choke slam off the stage, and
Through the tables, double tables,
the new hardcore champion, and he takes off on his bike. I think he left the belt behind though, but I mean, oh well. Pretty sure he got it because he had it on Raw. And that's it.
But anyway, guys, we'll be back with 2001 ranking all those pay-per-views. But that'll do it for Vengeance. What's your final rating?
Maybe like a 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10.
I'll give it a 6.5. Like I've probably watched the matches before, but the way this is talked up with Jericho, you'll never beat it at the moment, beating both of them. But the way he beat them, I mean, he didn't beat one of them clean. Not that I expected him to beat one of them clean, but would it have done any wrong for him to beat one of them clean?
No.
But I guess that plays into the whole gimmick and storyline we're going in with. So anyway, yes, 6.5 out of 10.
Peace.